Hey guys, sorry to keep you waiting on this update. I know we've been pushing it back for weeks, but it is here and I'm really excited. It was really fun to make, a lot more complex than I initially thought it would be. I did enjoy testing it these last couple of days, and it is proven to be very close to the vision that I initially had. If you were there for our last stream a couple weeks back, I had some pretty ambitious views for how this system would be and how it would function, or how impactful it would be, and it is looking to be a really good framework. In other words, I am just overly satisfied with the direction and the potential that this system has. With that being said, I'm going to go a little bit just into this update, what you guys can expect from it outside of just the dialogue beta, and then we can go a little bit more into how the dialogue beta works and kind of the time frame of the updates that are going to be going towards it to really get this system out the door and make it what it is going to be, I guess, in the near future. First and foremost, in general, as bug fixes go, sunflower seeds should be plantable in summer and fall. I know that was a big issue that a lot of you have been patiently waiting on. If I would have known dialogue would have taken this long to finish, I would have done a smaller update, so I apologize again for this being just a hanging issue for so long. The fruit trees, as far as olive and lemon trees go, they should no longer be mixed up, so your olives trees will plant or produce olives, excuse me. And your lemons will produce lemons. A few other smaller bugs as far as that goes. If you were affected by any of these, you want to make sure if it did get fixed up, check the Nexus mods. Any bugs, I believe almost every bug is reported there. More documentation on that if you're interested in that sort of thing. But as far as price balancing and taxes go, it's just some slight optimizations, no huge changes to that. DMPCC has some pretty big changes. We have two new triggers, workplace triggers, first of all for Maru and Shane specifically. These are a bit limited in customization, so you're only going to really be able to choose some and I guess customize variations for Shane's workplace at Jojimar and Maru's workplace at the hospital. This was just kind of a quick addition to fulfill some of the compatibility I guess requirements for some of the content that was coming out for DMPCC. In addition to a lot more content just to our traditional system with the clothing, we also get another trigger which is going to be the festivals. So this is kind of a two-parter. It was a bug that NPCs didn't use their seasonal clothing in festivals. I guess really not a bug. Rather, the NPCs in a festival are different entities from the normal NPCs. And in this case, they would use their original clothing. There was no checks in the DMPCC to make sure that they used seasonal clothing as a priority if they had it. This has changed now. So your NPC should not be defaulting back to vanilla as opposed to using their seasonal clothing. And in addition to this, with the DMPCC, we have a whole new trigger so you can actually customize what you want NPCs to wear during certain festivals. And we have some festival unique clothing that the artists for the DMPCC team have made strictly, or rather specifically for those festivals. Some really awesome artwork. They did an amazing job, so big thanks to the DMPCC team. There's going to be an infographic. I guess you would call it an infographic, or just a graphic, but it's going to show you all the NPCs that have clothing and the triggers that they're under, so you can have a quick way to see what is being added, what's new, what you can find where and how, I guess. So that's really cool. Also, we're going to have an updated credits list with that, and I'm working to do some in-game credit things because, guys, the work that these artists are producing is amazing, and I don't deserve all the credit. They do an awesome job, and This mod definitely would not be what it is without their creative abilities, I guess. Their creative attribute, we'll say. But other than that, that sums up the majority of the changes for DMPCC. The big change, which you guys are, most of you, excited for, I hope. I'm excited for you guys to use it and to see what feedback we get. The dialogue beta, it's awesome. I enjoyed it so much the last couple of days. Testing it has been so fun to see it come alive, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. It's going to feature strictly Abigail for this current beta, and as far as dialogue goes, Abigail will have dialogue that is, I guess, delivered depending on the setting. So your location, your time, season, as well as your relationship level with her. And then we will also be implementing festival dialogue for Abigail, so she'll have some different dialogue based on relationship and a few other factors during those festivals to give a little bit more uniqueness to it. That's going to be with this first iteration of the beta, and it's a little over 300 lines of dialogue, so quite a bit of new fresh content for Abigail to kind of get to explore and see how those work. There are 2 more delivery systems that I will implement either this Sunday or next Sunday. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to get into that, but each Sunday, once a week, I plan on doing a quick update to address quick fixes for any issues that arise, as well as putting forward these other, I guess, subsystems of the entire dialogue system. I want to plug them in one at a time, make sure that they work before just kind of throwing everything at you. Those 2 we will talk a little bit more when they do come out. In short, it's dialogue for marriage and dialogue for your relationships with other NPCs. She won't have conversations quite yet. That is also another thing that we will be adding in later. But there are a lot more systems, and I want to see how well this one works and if you guys view it impactful, because it's a lot of dialogue and the delivery method is so much different than what we're used to. So definitely explore that, give me your feedback, and let us know what directions we should take, or what you like, what you don't like, so that as we plug in more of these systems and as we fill in more content, we can do it in a direction that is overall positive to the impact of the game. Lastly, this is a beta, so it is optional. There will be a configuration setting that allows you to opt in or out of the beta, setting this to false or true. It will automatically be set to false. So any user who's using it, if you're having issues and you're not seeing the dialogue, that is because you have not opted into it. Everybody has to opt into it, strictly because I want you guys to be aware that there's a lot of interaction. This is a huge system, and any bugs that arise or any issues, I want you to be well in knowledge of what you're going to be going through. So definitely take a little bit of time and decide if this is something that you want to test. We'd love to have it as soon as you can. You can't wait to get your hands on it and see what all the hype around this dialogue system is. By all means, go in that configuration, switch it to true, and explore it and see how impactful it is. If not, if you're looking for a stable version of longevity and you're just happy with some new DMPCC content and some bug fixes, by all means, just leave the configuration as it is now and wait until the beta is a full release, which will be a couple of weeks. For the full release, it really depends on a lot of factors, so it's hard for me to tell. But code side, I'm going to be doing a lot of work each week to make sure that we continue moving the wheels on this. Other than that, I appreciate you guys and the popularity that we are moving along with longevity. If you see kind of off to the side here, we're growing some stats. I'm going to keep this up here for each update video that we do every time I release and kind of go over what changes are there. Just so you guys can see this grow, because this is really a community vibe that I want to build here. It's not just a mod to make the game what I would want or what I think you guys might want. It's, you know, I want to take a game that we share and really broaden it, I guess you could say, in a way that, you know, we can all kind of adapt to. But in other words, I'm excited for it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. There's a lot of work to go, but it's, in my opinion, it's awesome and it's going to be impactful. So definitely be sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. Link for it is in the description below. And with that being said, I look forward to your feedback, and I'll see you guys probably sometime next week for my next update video. But that being said, I hope you guys have a great week and do enjoy the update.